Pacific, you know what's happening. Get out of the ocean because the shark is coming. Today, in Memorable Moments, we're going to look at Jaws, one of the most iconic movies ever made. It was directed by Steven Spielberg. In fact, it was his second movie that he ever directed that went to theaters. Now, it was written by Peter Benchley and Carl Gottlieb, and it stars Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, Richard Dreyfuss, and it basically tells the story of this killer great white shark that is terrorizing this small town beach community. Now, I know what you're going to say. I'm going to talk about the scene when Roy Scheider first sees the shark and says, "We're going to need a bigger boat." Now, that is a great scene. In fact, that scene was improvised. Roy Scheider made that up. That was never scripted. And that is a great scene. But I'm going to talk about my personal favorite scene. Now, spoiler alert, sorry, I don't know what to tell you, but it's been 40 years. If you haven't seen it, I don't know. But the shark gets blown up, okay? The shark is attacking the boat. There's an oxygen tank that goes in his mouth, and Roy Scheider shoots it. And the shark gets blown to bits, along with Quint, who Robert Shaw plays. He's the captain of the boat. Now, why I love this scene is because it has like an arc, this whole scene. Now, the shark is blown up. Roy Scheider is hanging on his piece of wood. Richard Dreyfuss comes up from the bottom. He's in a scuba gear. He was in a shark tank, a shark cage, trying to kill the shark. He swims over to Roy. Roy sees him, and he starts to laugh. And they both start to laugh, okay? And then Richard Dreyfuss just looks at him and says, "Quint." Roy Scheider just says, "No." It's simple. Now, Richard Dreyfuss could have been like, "What's going on here? The ship's blown to pieces. Where's Quint?" All this kind of stuff. He doesn't. And Roy Scheider could have been like, "Well, I shot the shark and the oxygen tank blew up and all this stuff," but nothing like that. And great acting is usually super simple, okay? Quint and no. But the way that they do it, they don't push. They don't do anything to it, okay? And I always say great acting isn't always about what you say, but it's about what you don't say. And that's why this is my favorite scene in the whole movie. Check it out.
Quint. No. We get in on those?
My favorite scene in the whole movie. Thanks for checking out Memorable Moments. Please remember to like and subscribe. Leave some comments. Let me know if you'd like me to do an episode on your favorite TV or movie. Thanks.